Hey, welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. I had been on live for about an hour and not one person showed up. I was like, okay, well, I've been talking to myself for 40 minutes. So, welcome, welcome. I was playing a little bit of... Oops, I did not want to do that. No, I'm not trying to move that around. There we go. I want this. um, I was playing a little bit of Hindi music earlier. See if I can pull that back up. Let's try that. All right. All right. So, all right, today we're going to talk about the Indus Valley Civilization script. As you can see here on the screen, this is the script in question. So this is the corpus, or a group of signs, written by Mahadevan. Starting with the anthropomorphic signs here. Okay. And then we have animals of different types. There are quite a bit of lines. These are not numbers. Then we have more abstract signs. Okay. Some of them you can tell that's an animal with a particular hat on its head. More abstract ones. We'll get into a lot of these in a little bit. And that's the end of that. Okay. So this is my book, The Decipherment of the Indus Script. It is the compilation of two different works. One is the following. It's the preliminary observations on symbol correspondence between the Vinca sign system of southeastern Europe and the Indus sign systems, including decipherment of Indus Script. And the second is the Lexicon of the Indus Script, or LIS. Okay, the Vinca sign system of southeastern Europe is discussed in this paper simply because I do believe that they are related. Despite a large gap in time and space. However, the Vinca corpus is extremely limited, and therefore the majority of this paper focuses on Indus. We'll go through a few, more than several, correspondence signs between Vinca and Indus to show similarity between the two sign systems. So this is correspondence 1. Above you can see the Vinca sign and the Indus sign. I have an example here of a seal called the unicorn seal. It's not a unicorn, it's simply a flattened bull. And this is the sign for boo, B-H-U, boo. You can see it here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer them. This is correspondence 2. These are two different Vinca signs. However, when you combine them, they create the Indus sign here. I thought that was noteworthy, so I added that tidbit here. Here are some other grasping signs. Triangle with the tongs or the caliper. The same is here, yet the left portion is different than here. So this is a water vessel. Or a gourd. Correspondence 3 shows two different types of deer antler headdresses. This sign right here is extremely important to the corpus. This is the sign Graha. This is Gratha. And this is Pa. Here you can see a yoke sign on this priest right here. Okay, but you also notice he's wearing the deer antler headdress here. Thank you, Astro. Here you can see the yoke again. So you'll start to see the pattern is that you have primary bass signs that are being used as dependent modifiers of other signs. So there's the yoke here, yoke there, and the yoke here is modifying this primary sign. And this is natir. Natir. So actually I'll mention this after we're done with correspondences. Alright, correspondence 5 appears to be some sort of hand, possibly. Correspondence 6, here there's the Vinca sign, however it's nested within this sign in the Indus script. I can't find... oh, there's another one you'll see on the Nara symbol later on. Correspondence 7, exact match. Again here, the comb or the rake. Possibly could also be 4 fingers and a thumb. But most likely not. Yes. Yes and no. I can try. I would have to go through and pull up all of the Indus scripts, and I didn't really prepare for that. But I need to add it. I've got a whole other portion that I'm writing to describe that in more detail. So I'm going to have to go through every single sign and show the evolution of it. But there are many that I can now. I just can't do all of them like that. So yes, on a portion of them I can, absolutely. But not the whole thing. Excuse me. Here's Ka. Excuse me. So you can see the extreme similarities. Right, this sign is inside this one. Okay. These are matches. This is the same thing here. Slight variation, but it's the extension here is what counts. And then this here. Okay. So this is 2 bass sign pairing structure. It makes the most sense. Not single sign. I'm going to do my best to explain how you're supposed to read this. Because it is layered. There's like 3 different layers. Okay, this is the sign for Pashupati or Shiva. Again, this is Pa. And here we have Pashupati, the Pashupati seal. Oh, okay, yes, absolutely. Okay, so here we have the horned god, right? With 3 faces, seated on his throne, right? We got 4 animals here, 2 animals down here. These are deer or antelope. Yeah, a water buffalo or bull, rhino, tiger, and elephant. Scholars say that this is a, quote, proto-Shiva, a proto-Shiva. I don't believe that this is a proto-Shiva at all. I think this is the original Shiva. And that would make more sense in description. So here is Pa above his head, the deer antler headdress. So this kind of like central. It's associated with him directly. You can tell that this was written first, and the rest were kind of written around it. I am kind of going over this quickly. I know that you've heard this before, but in case there's someone in here that has not. Here we have the Nandi bull, the bull of Shiva. Okay, the bull is Shiva's vehicle, so he rides the bull. You can see his ears here, his face, and this is the hat of Pashupati. It's an ancient coin with two different animals wearing the hat of Pashupati. See? Here's his hat. And this animal here, I know it just kind of looks like squiggly lines, right? But this is actually a boar. Here are his tusks, and he's wearing the hat. Here's a deer, this is the bull. What has been grouped with the fish signs, they're not fish, they're actually boar signs. And I'll show you here. These boar signs are put with the fish, but they are not fish signs at all, they're boars. So you've got the ears here, and the 4 tusks. These are the ears, 4 tusks, and he's wearing the, that's supposed to be a 3-horned hat. I don't think it was drawn right, but that's okay. So that'll help with the decipherment going forward. And this talks about weights, measures, and admin control. The boar reminds me of the copper hoard culture. Tell me about that. Here we have an inscription from Mahadevan's corpus. This is a dependent A. This is Mha, but expanded is Maha. This looks like a scale, but it is not. So when I looked at this cube hung on a string, right, a cube measurement, I immediately looked at this and was like, this is a scale because there's a yoke and you hang things on either side of the yoke, so it must be a scale. But how wrong was I? But it's way more exciting what it actually is. Okay, let's go forward. Okay, so the signs have modifiers, right? You can easily look at this and go, wow, every modifier, right, the separate sign, is its own sign, own primary large sign somewhere else. And that's so neat with this. And so the base sign is a sign that has 0 extra marks. Okay? For example, sign 67 of the boar, okay, is the base sign. There's no extra marks, right? Here, this is the base sign for the fish. No extra marks, like over here or over here. Okay. Now, not all of these are base signs in the sense that in their function, let me put it that way. When you have a base sign like this, they are acting as the consonant plus an A. So that is the sign of an abugida script. Abugida just basically means you reduce a word down to its first syllable and of the object, right? So here it's vara, right, for boar. But for other base signs that are only syllables and not the full lexical word, you would just drop the vowel and put an A, if that makes sense. For example, this is mina, fish. Okay. You would rebus it or reduce it to mi. But so it doesn't follow the typical have to have an A on the end, right? It doesn't follow that. Now the others do. Some of the others do. But so this is a hybrid abugida. Some of these signs are full lexical words. But no matter what layer you're working at, they still follow very specific rules. Some of them are the full word of what they are. Okay? And some of them are not. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. Let's read some inscriptions. So the inscriptions, seeing the inscriptions and the translation and all that will help you better understand how it's being read. So let's do that, because I can sit here all day long and read this to you, but it's not going to make sense unless I show it to you. There's a little bit of a delay just because there's so many pages, so excuse me. So again, the primary sign layer, right, the large sign, the dependent layer, which are the smaller signs attached. Okay, then we have another modified or marked layer. I originally thought these were Visargas until I actually translated them, finally. So, alright, I want to say something extremely important here. This plate, okay, is one of the most important plates because it has a sign directly on the shoulder of the Nandi bull. Okay? And I knew, I was like, oh, it's on the bull, so it must be directly associated with the quality of that bull in some way. I was right. So, this sign is not a wheel. Oh, I actually reached out to the government of Tamil Nadu directly. So I'm just waiting on a response from them. And I also reached out to the Indus Research Center. But yes, it will be. It will be. I'm not in an entire rush. I mean, it takes a year or two to even have it done all the way through. Just simply because I know I'm correct and I'm not really worried about it. I would rather have it done now, but we shall see. We shall see. My other research on the Voynich manuscript is probably going to be in Springer Nature in the next year or two. I haven't reached out to anybody about this one yet. Excuse me. Alright, so Mahadevan's Plate 1-3. Okay, this sign is not a wheel. Okay, it's not a star. It's none of those things. I know it looks like a wheel because of some other stuff, but this one is not a wheel. Okay, it's the sign for a yoni with another sign that is radiating in all directions. Okay. So this outside portion that looks like the wheel, not the spokes, but the wheel, is a yoni. Okay? It's the sign for Tha or Ta. Tha or Ta. And you can see this evolution in current Indus scripts. You can see it for yourself. Tha or Ta. Super easy. Very straightforward. Okay? There's also another sign for Sa. And if you block off one side of it, you can see it. It's a triangle with a line down the center. Okay, for Sa. Except this sign, Sa, is radiating all the way around. They decided to draw it that way. I don't know why. Maybe some sort of metaphorical, you know, radiantness. But this is Sa, because you read the inside of the sign first. So these are nested, right? You have one sign inside another sign, and I call those nested. You read the inside first, and then the outside comes second. Okay? For the most part. Almost 90% of the time it is the inside, then the outside. So this would be Sa plus Tha. And when you merge them together, it becomes Stha. Stha. Okay? So I like to say things out loud when I'm doing decipherment because it just helps me. So that's literally what I did. I was like, Sa, Tha, Sata, Satha. And then I just said Stha. And I was like, wait a minute. That means standing. Lord Shiva and the Nandi bull are called the standing ones. They stand firm. So that is literally what this sign is. It is Stha. Okay? So the bull is standing firm. He's embodying standing firm. And that's what this section is about. Okay, Sthanu. The later Vedic epithet Sthanu applied to Shiva literally means the standing one. Okay? And this is a huge, just like, amazing thing right here. It's this section. Okay. So, yes, I'm fully aware. I told my kiddo, I was like, you know, wouldn't mind buying some land and a cabin. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. I reached out to the governor of Tamil Nadu. So, I'm waiting on a response. We shall see. I'll be the squeaky wheel this time. Alright, so here we have two different seals, okay? Let me scroll up so y'all can see it better. We have a male deity figure, two tigers, okay? This is typically considered to be Proto-Shiva, right? Here we have another female deity doing the same thing. Okay, she's holding the throats of two tigers. Yet here we have the same symbol. It looks round, more round, but it actually is written thank you. Yeah, I'd like to. So here we have Sta above her head. Very just explicit, this is what it is. Okay, so she's embodying Sta. Okay, so it's not just Shiva embodying Sta. And I was like, well, why would another deity, and you know, it's obviously it's a completely different one because it's the gender, right? Why would another deity be embodying something that only Lord Shiva is supposed to be embodying? And I thought about that more and more. And I was like, I'm going to revisit this. I'm going to try to figure this out because this is important. So, the idea of standing firm, from what I understand, is the idea of faith, right? Sta, faith. But the original meaning of this was not that. It was standing firm against attack. Well, the truth is the truth and you can't evade it forever. It's Sanskrit. Now, it's Vedic Sanskrit, but it has qualities of Pali and Prakrit. Now, Prakrit, in my belief, I know scholars have said this and I absolutely do agree, Prakrit is just the vernacular version of Sanskrit, where Sanskrit is the royal scribal version. So they're both standing firm. They're not falling. They're not yielding, right? They're literally standing firm against physical attack by a predator. That's what that means. They're standing firm against an immovable force, right? A force that is also Sta, okay? Because all of these animals, the tigers, the elephants, and the Pashupati seal, let me see, the Pashupati seal is a perfect example. I should just have it up to where you guys can see it easily, so I don't have to keep going back to it. Okay, so the Pashupati seal shows the two antelope or deer, but also the water buffalo, or the also being called a bull, right? Rhino, tiger, elephant. All of these animals here are the literal embodiment of Sta. They stand firm. They are immovable against attack because of their size or their ferociousness. So they literally all are Sta. So he is embodying the qualities of all four of these. He renders their attacks moot, right? Because he is in the hero's posture, Virasana. So he renders their attack pointless, like it just doesn't exist, because he is like the antelope, calm and immovable himself. So that is why Pashupati is seated with these animals around him. He's representing Sta. It's originally just to mean standing firm against attack, like physical attack. Let's go back to where we were. So I thought that was mind-blowing. And that really opened up the floodgate on the decipherment. Okay. So now we have sta on the Nandi bowl. Okay. Again, a reminder, this is bu. And this is an A. So the two lines are an A, whether it be the long two lines or the short ones, they are the same thing. So now this is bu. The dependent A, it means not, or no, or against, or un. Okay. Remember, bu can mean earth or manifest. In the inscriptions, the majority of the time it means, bu means manifest. So abu means unmanifest, and that is an epithet of the devas, or the gods. Okay. And this one right here is rasa. Okay. You got the sign for Ra. Okay. But the complicated part with this one is it's like they couldn't, because this is nested, right? And this is why they have it straight up and down. And I'll do my best to explain this. All of the lines that you see over here, not over there, that look like numbers, are not numbers. They are nested just like this is nested inside this, or this is nested inside that. These are nested, but they're also stacked above each other and next to each other. So these are big lexical items. That's what these are. For example, this is Ra, this is A or Ha. It can be either or. Okay. Haya, Ha-aya, okay, because this down here is A, and you have to put a what they call a vocalic glide in between them. So it'd be aya. It's either a Y or an H for a vocalic glide in between two vowels. So this is aya, okay. This is also ya, aya. You have a nested construction here. This sign is inside this sign. Do you see? This sign is inside this one, and that makes this one. Okay. This sign is the rasa, or essence, or juice. Okay. Let me scroll up here and find sa for you. Different form of sa. Go down to the triangles. He put that one over there, but it's not it. The man between tigers looks like the carving at Sayberg 9000 BC, and the seated figure with antlers looks like the Gunstrup cauldron. Ooh, another one from 9000 BC? Sayberg? Is that European? Because it looks like it. I'm gonna pull that up on my phone and see what I can read about it. Alright. Sayberg. That's Turkey. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Sayberg carving. No, painting. Is it carving or a painting? Carving. I love the tepe, by the way. Or tepe. What am I looking for? Okay. Are you talking about the guy that's doing the thing? I can't say that out in here. Anyway. Gundestrup Cauldron. Gundestrup Cauldron. Oh! Oh, that's pretty. That's cool. It looks like he's trying to eat or something. I don't know. Alright. So, I have a book coming out called Eden Remembered. Okay? And my theory is during the last glacial maximum, right? Peoples traveled, of course, across Europe, right? Way, way, way back, okay? And it started with the Venus figurines, okay? They started using them as a way to kind of conjure up, you know, health and safety, right? And over time, the simplistic language being used, right? Very one syllable language, okay, very minimal, over time developed into what we now know today as PII and PIA and Sanskrit and all of that stuff, and it just went back the other direction. Mankind started going across the Zagros Mountains into the Hindu Kush, developing there first, and then moving into Sumeria, back that direction. And you can actually kind of see that genetically as well. So the more time passes, the more I'm seeing that my theory is correct. So it's quite interesting. So yes, they absolutely are related. I know that there is some, you know, cultural diffusion over time, of course, right? You have loan words and things like that, but you know, and culture, and just in different ways, not just language, but religion as well. But on the same token, there's an obvious, you know, time and spatial issue. You know, there's an evolution of something. It's not just about one culture meeting another. It's not just about cultural diffusion, but cultural evolution. And I know that some scholars, not all of them, are afraid to recognize the evolution over the diffusion. They're like, oh, you know, it's just shared symbolism, because, you know, how many different ways can you know, for example, draw 214? You know, of course. You know, there's only so many certain types of shapes that you can draw, right? Everybody's going to draw the same thing eventually. But that doesn't explain all of it. That's not a good explanation for everything. You know, acting like an ostrich with your head stuck in the sand, afraid to take that leap of faith and see if it works, is the antithesis to progress. I mean, that's all I can say about that. So. Okay, so let's move forward. Excuse me. Here we have the Tha. It's actually written, carved round, but I think it's because of the difficulty in the rock. It's easier sometimes just to draw it that way. Gotta work with what you got, right? I will say he did the rhino very well, so must have been slacking. All right. Here we have our first set of inscriptions. Okay, these are just phrases, but they're important. It kind of helps you understand. These are names. Okay, these are names right here. This is a phrase, right? Akya. This is ka together. You've got the sign for ka. Let me see if I can cover it up for you. All right, on the left side of the bottom part of the arrow, right, the cursor, is the sign for ka, Ka. It's just an arc to the convex arc, okay? It's attached to our dependent A, okay? And then here's Kia. So literally it's Ka Akya. Ka Akya. Akya. Ka Akya. So Akya means is named. Ka Akya is and is named. Ka is and. This is Bu. This little, and I forgot to mention this. This little sign right here is like a hu noise, H-U or U. Okay. This is Bu. Kia. This is Sru. The R comes from the line right here. This is Ra. This is the U. Sru. Or, sorry, it's the Sa. This is Sa on the top. But it's also a U. Excuse me. So it's Sa, Ra, U, Sru. Srukia. Bukia. Okay, these are surnames. This is an ancient one. To this day, it's being used in a specific tribe in the Indus Valley region. Okay, this tribe was known, was said to descend from Rajasthan. Okay, they were associated with the warrior caste. Oh, you think it's a unicorn? It's actually I can't talk today. It is a bull. It's just a 2D version of the bull. But I'm interested in what you're saying. Gifted to Shalmaneser III, in the scriptures were the name of a Brahmi inscription from CHC. If you can, like, reach out to me, you can email me at founder@glyphpublishing.com. Feel free to link me to whatever you find, because that's interesting. Okay, so the Bukia clan tested among the Banjara or Lambadi groups, okay, associated with Rajasthan. Claims of Rajput or martial ancestry, meaning warrior caste, okay. Bukia. Scholars have thought that Bukia, the surname Bukia, just meant something associated with the earth. Bu, because Bu can mean earth, but it can also mean manifest. They're pastoral, so that was the assumption. However, the inscriptions I'm going to decipher with you indicate that it does not mean anything to do with the earth, rather manifestation. Manifest. Okay. we talked about the vocaloid glide earlier, really quickly, right? So, excuse me, the I mark, right? One for the A sign is 2 I marks, right? 2 lines. The one for I is simply 1 line. It literally looks the same as English I. So you would have, where is it? See, so you would use a Y or an H in between 2 vowels. So this would be Miaya. Don't know what this one is yet because this looks very odd. I think it might be a smushed other one, and I'll try to show you if I remember later. So here the vocaloid glide would be Aya, A, Y, A. This is an A, that's an A. Aya. Alright, now we get to the fun part. Alright. This is Pa, okay, for protector, Pa. It just jumped out at my brain. That was the first thing that came to mind was Pa. I was right. It is Pa, right? And the reason why I thought Pa was because of Pa Shupati, right? Protector, Pa. Well, Pa Shupati is the protector, right? And Nadarapa is protector of men, Lord of men, protector of men. So I felt like that was the more appropriate meaning for this sign. That's not a jar, right? It's the deer antler headdress associated with the protector, right? The deer sit below his throne. They are associated with protection. This is the Ra sign with the sign, or U, and then an I. Okay, so I'm still unsure, but this is either, I think this is Ri or Ru, most likely Ri because of the extra line. So Pari Pi, Paripi Kaakia. The purifier, and he is known by name. Remember I said Kaakia, and he is known, and he is called, or named. This is the Ta Tha sign on the outside, right? The I is in the center. This can be Iti, or it can be Ti. Okay? This is Ti Ya. This is Ya. You can see this in other Indic scripts. This one's not hard at all. So, Ti Ya. Then we go to this sign. This is an entire lexical item, a whole word. Ya is on the inside. Tha or Ta is on the outside. So it's Yatha. And then we have A, meaning not or un, and then Bu, Abu, unmanifest. Tiya, Yatha, Abu, here in the manner of the unmanifest. This is Ja, okay? You can see this correlation kind of with other Indic scripts. Ja, Ya. This is the hard part. Okay. You'd have to scroll in, and I can't really do that because it's just going to be blurry. But I'm going to try. Okay. And I'll just go over to the other sign as I see it. Alright? Okay. So, we have 3 different signs. The third one is made by the overlap. Okay? In Abugida, you can drop off the initial A when you're writing it, when you're writing a word, because it's just understood. You don't have to write it. So now we have T. We know that this is T, right? T. T. T is on the end. So we have T at the front, T on the end. So what is this in the center of the word? It looks like it might be another yoni sign with a slash, but it could also be the fish sign with a slash. Let me show you. So like the little tail legs things would be extending down to here. And you're going to see that over here, right here. Okay. So I believe that this means meter, and because it's the fish sign rather than the ta with a slash. Okay, so mina is fish. I know that some have been saying it's the other ma one, but this is not correct. Ma is not, we're not using the MA version of fish. The oldest one is mina. Okay. So the base sign, mina, sign 59, is rebus to MI, me. I was able to figure out that the sideways slash is TR. Okay, simply because already known signs for tra and 3 have sideways slashes. Let me explain. Alright. 124 and 125. 124 is 3, 125 is tra. Remember the one line is an I? This is TR. This is TR. We already know that this is tra in other index signs. This is 3. Tra, 3. So I figured out, and this is te, I figured out the sideways line is a ra. This is ra. So it's like mashing, where do we have ra? Ra with this. So that would make it tra, TR. So these are TR's sounds. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Alright, so this is tra and this is 3. So the slash in the mina fish is a TR sound. So that means instead of it being inner to outer like we typically would see, it's not. It's me ter, meter, which means friend, mitra. And I know people are like, well, wait a minute, hold on. You can just pick whatever and read whatever direction you want. No, you can't. That's not how it works. It's very overly, grossly simplified and backwards. There's still rules that you have to follow. And context, of course, is key. If it doesn't make sense in the rest of the inscription, or especially doctrinally, if you're trying to make a sentence and the doctrine, the theme of the conversation in the inscription does not make sense, it's not it. If the syllables are not matching up with the rest of the syllables in the word, it is not it. If you can't reproduce it over and over again, it's not it. So there's all these variables. You can't just pick whatever. It has to follow the rules. So you can read both directions, just like you can read both directions this way, depending on which direction it's facing. Okay? It'll make sense as you go along. Okay. Did we just print in? Oh, what's happening? We're experiencing interruptions. Why are we experiencing interruptions? Huh.
Base 44 super agent is the catalyst for my growth. It's going to take me to the next level. My agent.
Okay, so now we know that, right? So this is T Mitra T. T Mitra T. Or A T Mitrati. Okay. It's dropping the A on the front. So it's not T Mitrati, but Ati Mitrati. Okay. Jaya Ati Mitrati. Victory in peaceful accord or peaceful treaty or oath. Mitrati can mean to behave in a friendly manner, but in the context of this, it would be peaceful accord. This is the base sign for the measurement cube, right? Remember how I said in Abugida, you take the base sign and add an A, right? You take the consonant and add an A, that's Abugida, right? So this is the primary base sign with no extra marks. So this is Ma. The fish sign is not Ma, it's me. Ma, Pa, Sri. Ma, Pa, Sri. This is like through, but there's an I on the top. Mapa Sri. It's the splendor of Mapa, which is an epithet for Vishnu. In Vedic, in this Sanskrit, I've noticed that you can have the modifier on the opposite side. So, Mapa Sri. Sri Mapa. This is Pa-ya-ma, Sriya Abu. The great milk, the joy of the unborn. Or if it's Pa-ya-ma, the mother's milk. Pra-madi. Okay, this is the sign for Danu, right? But rebust, it's Da, but with an here it's D. Pramadi, Ma'adi, okay, is the expanded form of Madi. This is Hava or Hova, right? Initially it's written HVA. And yes, that is correct, because it does it multiple times where the A is understood. The first A is understood, okay? It does it with Maha too. So this is Huva, Ba. This is the Abugida base sign for Ba, body, right? Enclosure or house. So it's just B-A. You add the A on the end because it's the base sign. A B in Sanskrit can also be a V. It's attested, that's known. Same thing with R and L. They are also switchable, R and L. So Ba is Va. So now we have Havava. Okay, the invocation of water. So the entire sentence is the beginning, the primordial mother, the invocation of water. Pa, ka, ya, pakaya. Ya, tha, pi. Pakaya ya, tha, pi. The dependent condition aligned precisely. Ja, pa, ta. Japata. The state of one who mutters prayers or mantras. Pa, kia. Pa, kia. It can mean ripening or maturing. Okay. And if you add the A on the front, right, since A's are dropped. Pa, akia. The protector is named. Okay. Here we have Pa, Tri, Abu. Pa, Tri, Abu. The wing of the unmanifest, the ritual vessel of the unmanifest, or the consort of the unmanifest. Patri means all three. In this context, I do believe it means the consort of the unmanifest. This is the sign for man, Nara. This is not rebused or abbreviated in any way. This is Nara. Nara pa ti. Narapati. Iti. Abu. Narapati iti Abu. The Lord of Men, lo, unmanifest. So the unmanifest. Itiya. Yafa. Abu. Approached as the unmanifest. Iti, there's the sign for Ka, and you can see Ka in other Indic scripts, okay? Super easy on this one too. Iti Ka, Mi Ja, with an H, okay? Ga, Tha, Ga, Tha. I was able to determine what this unknown sign is, and it's Vira. Okay, Vira. Mahadevan used this as a place marker for an unknown sign. Having the speed of my swift song of the hero. I still don't know what this combination is, but I'll figure it out one day. Alright, so Pa, unknown, meter, mitra, gatha. Pa, ga, or it can also be gan. Paga, ma. Pagama. And then, of course, the A is implied. Pagama. The protector, unknown. Friend, or god of Mitra's song, rendered as death or unattachment. This is one of my favorite, and this is on the front of cover of my book. Ja, ga, ta, ga, tha. Jagata Gatha, the song of the universe. At first I thought this was the most, but that doesn't make sense. You can't have like the most song. But it's Jagata Gatha. Here we have the bearer, right? Bada, Gatha, Ja, because we have Ja attached to Aja, E, or IH, E, Abu, the ritual bearer's song of the unborn and the unmanifest. Again, Vada, Vada, Gata, Ajara. Ajara, right? Not Ajara, but Ajara. The ritual bearer's song of the imperishable. Varagata Aja I Pagama. Okay? Varagata Aja I Apagama. The ritual bearer's song of the unborn and unattachment, departure, or death. Okay? I mean, all three of those things. Bu. Okay, Bu Na Ma. Sru. Shri. Sva. The manifest name is the transmission of the auspicious self. Paripika Akya. Paripika Akya. Okay, behold, the fragment is named. And these are all doctrinally whole, so if you're more than welcome to look up the doctrine involved in any inscriptions. I'm pretty sure this means Sru mi rasa rasa. Sru mi rasa rasa. Now, so it's the transmission of the value of the highest essence. And then Bukya. Manifest, he is called. Or called manifest. This is the T/TR, okay? It's also T, I have found. So, this is Su attached to the T/TR, okay? And then Ka, KH, Ajara. This is not a sign, it's just a little note that Mahadevan did when he was unsure. But this is Sukha Ajara. Sukha Ajara. So originally, this word had a T in front of it, a T noise. So it's like a, instead of a Su, it's Sukha Ajara. The bliss of the undecaying. Here we have Ga or Gan. Ga, Tri, Abu. Gathri Abu, the singer of the unmanifest. Here's a similar sign, but there's no head, no headdress, right? So this is not Bara, but Bar. Bar, Tri, Abu. The mother of the unmanifest, or the unmanifest mother. Right, the primordial mother. Now, remember how I said that the modifiers come after the noun? Okay. The three-speared trident of Lord Shiva, the Trisula, okay, the Trisula. Sula means spear, tri of course means three. It's called Sula tree here. Sula tree. Spear 3. Okay. Pa, Sula, Tri, Abu. The protector's trident of the unmanifest. Okay. So now we know for sure that the modifiers can come after the noun or the object. Here again we have the unknown word, Vira. Here is a mat or rug, asana, because you sit on it, right? Virasana, Vara for the boar, okay? Ra, Abu, the noble seat of the hero, the radiant unmanifest. Now, later on you'll see that Ra can also mean Agni, the god Agni for fire. Here's Vira again. Asana. So if there's an A on the end, there's any kind of overlap, it's not repeated when you say it. Okay, so Vira Asana, Virasana. Which explains something extremely important to Indian cultural heritage, and I'll talk about that later. So we've got Vira Asana Ta. Virasanata, the prostrated seated hero. This is a really beautiful inscription. Okay. Pa-ya-ma, pi-ya-ta, su-ya-ta, ri-ya-a. Okay. The ritual drink overflows with guided or well-restrained inspiration or divine speech. Okay. The ritual drink being soma. Okay. Divine speech comes from soma. The drinking of the divine plant, soma. Here is the sign for sta again. We've got sa radiating in different directions. Okay. Tha on the outside, so together it's tha, sta, and then ma. Stama, strength or power. This is Bada, Sula, Subu. The ritual bears powerful spear. So this is Subu for powerful, coming after Sula. This is Vira, Ra-ba, or Rava, for roaring or crying out. Dvarapala, the guardian of the gate. Dvarapala. Ista, for Istaka, this is bricks, a pile, like a layer of bricks, right? Ista, Sula, Imha, Imha. This sign right here is Mha. When it's expanded, it's Maha. And then we have Ya, Su. Ka plus Su. KSU. The most desired spear proclaimed by us as desired. Ista, Sula, Su, Bu. Ista, Sula, Su, Bu. Pa, Mi, Tha, Su, Mitra, Misu. The most desired spear intending to go forth, the protector seeking mutual oath unites with the allies. Okay, what does a spear do when you throw it? It goes forth, right? Pa, sta, literally just means the standing protector, the standing one, or the protector who is the most standing, or the most immovable. Here we have Jaja, sta, Mitra. So here's the first time you see Mitra spelled out, Mitra, rather than meter in the fish. This means that this is the god's name, rather than the word for ally or friend. Jajasla Mitra. Gratha, because it's a tha or ta sign. Gra, tha, gratha. Graha, sta. This is just a caliper and tongs, that's all this is. So, it's graha. Jajasla Mitra, gratha graha sta. The warrior stands or is established. Mitra binds, takes hold, and establishes, or stands firm. Right? So Mitra is known for taking oaths. He's causing the warriors to take oath. So that's what this means, this last sentence. Here we have sta, nam. This is nam because it's someone bowing. They have no head. Okay, all of the anthropomorphic signs have no heads for the most part. So, sta, nam, bu. The place or home of the manifest, or the place of the home of the earth. It can be either or. Mha or maha, sta, sivaja. I forgot to put the English there, but the great standing one, born of Shiva. Okay. It could also be like, from what I understand, JHA is added as a honorific to names as well. So it's not just born of, but I think here it's an honorific. So we have mha or maha, sta, sivaja, pi, havava or havava. The great standing Shiva. Now, the invocation of water. Nam, mo, maha, sta, sta. Homage to the great one who stands firm in faith. Jaja tra. Jaja travira. The protecting warrior's hero, or go to the place of the hero. Vira vara abu. The excellent hero, the unmanifest. Pa'a tamita misu abu. The protector, behold, the wrathful one joins and comes forth from the unmanifest. Vira maha sta pra. The most exalted, the great hero, the most exalted, immovable, standing one. Pasiva mitravara. Now, the phrase mitravara is an attested phrase in Vedic scripture. It's a phrase used to describe the Deva. Protector Siva, my greatest friend, the hero. Now, this is tha, but I'm unsure what the outside is. So that is a work in progress. Here we have Nara, Nara pa, Narapa, Vara, Misu, Ista. And I'm going to tell you right now that Ista was so hard to find. The protector of men, the best among them, and standing firm. Sta Yama, Sta Yama, the moon. Pa Asana, Bara, A, Na, Tir. The reason why this is Tir is because this sign by itself, the X or the cross, is Tirtha, the crossing, the sacred crossing, right? Tirtha. Na is already a known sign, so A, Na, Tir, which means not reclining, okay? Not laying down. In other words, upright, okay? Really, I should change this to upright. The protector's posture is the bearer who is upright. Okay. Okay, so you'll start to see that terms like Virasana, Pasana, they are yogic postures. Now, I think Pasana has been lost to time, but Pasana means the protector's posture. Okay, who's constantly being called the protector? That is Shiva, Pashupati. Okay, and he's standing tall against the attack, so he's the protector, right? So the protector posture is the one where he's standing up, holding the throats of the tigers. So he is not reclining, is he? He is upright. So that would be the yogic posture for that. And I'm fully aware, yes, the postures weren't codified till much later, right? But they were based on these ritual postures mentioned in the Indus inscriptions. Okay, so here we have natir, not reclining. Now we have natir, reclining. Natir, meter or mitra, vara, yatha, vira. The reclining best friend, just as is the hero. Okay? So this is referring to Vishnu. Okay? He's reclining. This is Natir Pa Misu Abu, the reclined protector among the unmanifest, or in union with the unmanifest. Okay, so I figured out it was Vera. You're more than welcome to read that. I just used relational reduction. And this is the Vera section. I had to test it to make sure, right? Alright, so we've got Vera, Yama, Abu something. Not sure what this is. This is Vera, Kia, Mirakia, Pragatha, Abu. The one called hero going forth from the unmanifest. Vira Bu Ru Mira. The unmanifest hero, the ocean's sound, the hero passes as water, behold or lo. Vira Pa, and then I don't know this one yet. This is Priya, the beloved. Vira, from Ta or Tha, Ta. And then the fish, Mi, Ta, Tamita. Ah, and then a vocally glide, which would be H, and then I, Ahi. Vira, Ya. Pa. I'm unsure about this, so I've left it as is. Okay. Misu. Pa. Unknown. Right. And this is also unknown. Nama. Vira. Homage to the hero. Pa. Tha. Vira. Priya. Path of the hero, the beloved. Vira Tsubu. Vira Tsubu. Pa A Tamita. The mighty hero, the protector. Behold the angered one, or the angry one. Rudra, I'm guessing. Virasana a Timati ahi. Priya. The hero's seat, behold the wrathful snake, the beloved. Vira ra ka iti. Pri rasa. Pri rasa. The hero, Ra or Agni, and thus is the pleasing essence, right? Essence is associated with Agni. Nara pa, this is door, Dvara, but if we rebus it to Deva, D-V-A, it is Deva. Okay. Pri rasa. The protector of men, the Deva, the pleasing essence. Ja pa vira, vira rasa. And here is an extremely important bit. Vira rasa. Okay, the idea of vira rasa didn't come until later, at least so we think. Okay, in art and theater, vira rasa is the expressions, the emotions, the sentiments of heroic power, of being a hero. Okay, but the idea is actually much older. Now we know that it was in existence even during the Indus Valley Civilization time period. Okay, and japa, mutterance, is an aspect of vira rasa, even today. So this is ja, pa, vira, vira rasa. The hero's mutterance or mantra, the heroic essence. Ja, pa, sivaja, vira, prirasa. The mutterance or mantra of the one born of Siva, the hero, the pleasing essence. I don't think it's one born of. I literally think it's just an honorific to Siva rather than born of here, because born of would be J-A. Alright, so Ja, Pa, Sa, Tirtha. This is Sa Tirtha because you have Sa wedged in. So Sa Tirtha, Vira, Prirasa. The mantra of the sacred crossing or the bathing places of the hero, the pleasing essence. And here we have Vira, Ga, Tha, A, Ja, Sru, Danda, Rasa, Pravira. I still don't know what this one is. It's driving me nuts, but Graha, Miti, because it's also a Ta sign. Miti, Gratha, Vira, Sa, Tirtha. This is an O. Oh, this is the scorpion sign. Ooh, I forgot to go back and add this. 68. 68. Alright. Alright, bear with me, you guys. 51 is where we need to be. 51. Maybe. I don't know why I did that. Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Let's go to Monier's dictionary. Alright, you're gonna see this live, guys. This is what I do right here. Okay. I'm sure there's probably a vowel I am missing. And they might not even be the, come back to it. Again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'll have to start from scratch. But that is the process I use. Okay, so here we have a very long inscription, beautiful inscription, okay? This is Nara, Pa, Narapa. This is the sign for Devara, the door, so Deva. Pretty sure this is an N-A, right? Because it's the Na, right? So, Ananti, Ananti. Sru, Rasa, Pra, Mi, Asta. Vira, Ra, Ma, A, Ma, Maha, Ya. Okay, that's hard to say for me for some reason. Vira, Vira, Pra, Su, Soma, Vira. The protector of men, the eternal Deva, flowing juice forth as water like a torrent. The hero Rama presses together the hero Soma, which is understood, Soma. The hero presses the hero Soma. It's one of my favorite inscriptions. Pakavira, Pakavira Prirasa. The mature hero, the beloved essence. Ja Narapa Vira, the arisen heroic protector of men, the beloved. And I don't know what this sign is yet. Vira Gra Ista. Vira Yati Rasa. The hero holds by standing in, he impels, sets in motion, the essence. Oh, we'll skip this one because I'm unsure about it, but Bada, Gata, Aja, E, Asana, Vira. The bearer's song of the unborn goes forth as the seat of the hero. Payama Avira. This means childless, right? No family, no children, no sons. Okay. Yama, the protector of the childless. Okay. I think this may be referring to ascetics rather than a widow, or someone who can't have kids. It's literally an ascetic, someone who's choosing not to have kids. Vira, Thea, or Tia, Virathia, Vira, the byroad of the childless. Okay. I believe this is talking about Agori ascetics, right? An ascetic, they choose not to have children. They take the difficult path, right? Okay. Vira Vara Ud Asana. This is Ud because it's rising. The bird is rising up, okay? The noble hero in the unmoving or grounded seat or posture, okay? Virya Danu Asana A. The advancing hero in the bow seat or bow posture. Behold. Vira Aja. This one was difficult, okay? It's very hard to find this word, but it does exist. So this is the jaw HA, the jaw sign JHA twice. So it's JJHA. Okay. The inner hero. Pa, unknown sign, unknown sign. Nam Vira. Pa, par, ama. Anam Vira. The protector, blank blank, bows before the hero. The ultimate hero bows before the hero. I'm still not understanding why this is being said this, but I think it means like a human hero, right? Like in honor, like acknowledging the warrior. Vira Pa Pia. This is a rope. So its rebus version is PYA. Vira Pa Pia. Sara Sara. Na Sa. Anasa. The hero in streaming purification or flowing purification is still living. It's choppy, but I don't know this sign, but this is Nadarapa Vira Abu, protector of men, the unmanifest hero. Vira Misu Abu, the hero in union with the unmanifest, or the hero among the unmanifest. Vira Vara Abu, the excellent or noble hero, the unmanifest. Vira Graha Ra Abu, the hero takes hold of the unmanifest. Fire. Okay, I no longer think it's like radiant because Ra elsewhere means Agni. Vira Asana Vara Ra Abu, the heroic seat of the noble radiant unmanifest. So some of it's fire, some of it's radiant, some of it's Agni. Still trying to figure out the context. Vira Miti Abu, the hero, the measure of the unmanifest, or the value. Vira Meter Abu, the heroic friend, the unmanifest. Vira I missed a word. Vira Ra Abu Ta. Vira Shiva Vara Mi Abu. The noble excellent hero passes low as the unmanifest. Vira Rasa Abu, the heroic essence in the unmanifest. In. Viraja Abu, the born hero, the unmanifest. This one's fun, okay? Bar Ya Ma Ka Abu, the adorned wife of the unmanifest. Vira Ka Abu, Baraka Abu, the unmanifest heroes. Pavira, Pa Kyata, Vira Abhu. The heroic protector having matured as the unmanifest hero. Bada Rasa Ra. Raba or Rava. Vira Miti Vara Abu. The bearers or Agni's essence. Ra, fire. The roar. The hero's value or measure is the noble unmanifest. Viragrata, Mitra, Miti, Abu, Vira. The hero bound, as in an oath. The friend's measure of value, the heroic unmanifest. Vira, Akya, Hava, Misu, Aya, Abu. The invocation of the one called hero, acting in union with the unmanifest. Bara, Vira, Subu, Vira, Subu. The bearer's powerful hero, the powerful hero. Nara, Nara, Vira. The best of mankind, the hero. Varaya, Avira, Bhumi. To be chosen or choose to be without sons, the earth. Vira, Naraya, the strong or manly hero. Natir, Mitravara, Yatha, Vira, the reclining noble friend, just as the hero. Majority of the time, Bu means manifest. Here we discuss the compressed and extended meanings, okay? The sign for Maha, right? Maha, Hava, Deva, Pura, and Pura. Here's an extremely important one. I'm going to take a quick break and then I will return. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Alright, so we're going to talk about one of the more important signs. Remember earlier I said that I thought it was a scale, that this sign was a measuring scale, but it is not. Okay. This is a 20,000-year-old cave painting right here. Okay. In Parhargar Cave. 20,000-year-old painting. Here is sign 206 in Mahadevan's corpus that I thought was a scale at first, but it's not. It is a bullock cart. Here's the yoke, here's the cart. Yoke, cart. So this sign is the bullock cart. The bullock cart is a vehicle. Okay? Vahana, right? And if you rebus Vahana, you rebus it to Va. Okay? You tracking? Alright, so this is Va from Vahana. So now we know why the V sign in all of the evolutions of the Indus scripts is this. It's because it's a bullock cart, a Vahana, a vehicle. So 20,000 years ago, that is where we got the sign for this. Can you imagine? 20,000 years ago. So now we know why this sign exists. Here we have the bow tie sign. And here we have the bow tie for the body of the horse. So this is the torso of a horse. Here you can see something similar. This head is a triangle, and then we have the same thing here. Similar signs. This one is also extremely important. Sign 42. This is another extremely old, thousands of years old painting in a cave. There's the sign of the man, or the men here. Their feet are next to the wheels of the chariot. They are charioteers. So this is a charioteer. The word for charioteer is Rathika or Ratha, and that can be rebus to Rat or Rath. Okay. Oh, and the other is Asva, reduced to As. Here's one of the more important inscriptions you'll ever see, and I got so lucky. It's the only time this sign occurs, right? The Rath or Rat sign. Okay. Remember how I said there's overlap when there's the same syllable or letter? Well, here we have Ra-Ra. So, Ja, Bara-Rat. Priya. Ja, Bara-Rat, Priya. The one who is the beloved leader or bearer of the people. Now, what is the original name of India? Bharat. Okay. Bharata, Mahabharata, right? Mahabharat. So this is the original name of India. Bhararat. Full expansion. Bhararat. So by the time the Vedic period happens, with the Rig Veda, they're already shortening it to just Bharat. But we have Ja Bhararat. Ja Bhararat Priya. This is extremely important right here. Bararat. So not only that, but Bararat is not a name. It is a title. I do have appendices that we can read from quickly. This is the appendix of the interpretations. And then we have some translations of the inscriptions in Appendix B. Do you agree that the cult object next to the oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. But you have to remember that in the Rig Veda, the cow is often described as eating soma. And then they go and drink the milk from the cow that has soma in it just from the cow eating it. Right? At least that's what their thought process is. But then they go and make the soma from the ghee and the milk and the plant, right? And I have a whole nother book about the original identity of Soma and Haoma, and that is of Katha Adulis, or Kat. And unfortunately it gets a bad rap because of its overproduction and recreational use, but its original use was that of ritual, sacred rite. So it is the original Haoma of Zoroastrianism in Persia, and of course, by proxy, Vedic religion of Soma. But yes, you can buy that book on Amazon. You'll see it connected with my Voynich manuscript work as well. And I also identified the original Haravarazati, or however you pronounce it. I'm horrible with pronouncing this. The mountain. So here's more inscriptions in Appendix B, but I'm going to go ahead and take questions. Oh, yes. So it's going to be founder at glyphpublishing.com. FOUNDER at glyphpublishing.com. I'm not seeing anything else. You asked, is this correct? Okay, so it'll be founder and then glyphpublishing.com. Were you able to... Well, send me a quick email and I will check it. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to sleep, and I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see you guys later. Go ahead and send me that email. and we'll go from there. Alright, have a good night. Okay, perfect. That's funny, I do the same thing. I send test emails out. Alright, let's see here. Unfortunately, I didn't. I don't know. Maybe it takes a little bit. But I'll check it again in the morning. And see what's going on with it. Okay, I'm gonna go log out, and I will see you later. Thank you so much.